Well, not only my mom, everybody was surprised. When I was going to go to my Sundance, I told him, hey, I'm going to ceremony, Mama. My son, are you in some kind of cult? There was some healing to do with my mom. There was some cuts and wounds that I had to go through healing. That night, when I talked to my mom, as every Sunday at 9, I said for the first time after, I don't know, 15 years or 20 years, I love you, Mama. Te amo, Mama.
Dear friends, welcome to Impromptu Stories. Today we dive into a deep, powerful, transformative journey of my guest, Cesar, a man who left behind the comfort of a conventional life to follow a calling that led him into the world of spirit, healing, and self-discovery. Born in Mexico, Cesar's path wasn't a straight line. It was shaped by challenges, loss, health struggles, and ultimately a profound awakening. In this conversation, we talk about his immigration to Canada, the emotional complexities of his relationship with his mother, and the turning points in his life, and how music and drumming became his sacred medicine. This episode is a beautiful reminder that our spiritual journey often begins in the most unexpected places. Join us in this conversation filled with honesty, vulnerability, and inspiration. Thank you. Okay. Anyway. Okay. My hair looks okay?
What about mine?
Your hair looks fine. You look great.
Thank you. You too. I was just kidding.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. Okay, Cesar, welcome. I'm so happy to have you on my podcast.
Dana, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much. So honored to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so I have some questions for you, of course, because your journey is very interesting.
Thank you.
So maybe let's start from your trip to Canada. What made you come to Canada, and what did it awaken maybe in you when you moved to Canada?
Well, I moved to Canada in 2008. My sister-in-law at the time was she still is in Calgary, and we were in Mexico. And my ex-wife, and I decided to start the paperwork to move to. It took us a while to decide to come to Canada, and then in 2008 was a reality. We had the permanent resident card, and since 2008 I've been around here.
Yeah. So what did you have any cultural shock here?
Well, the first thing was that I thought what cold was.
Oh, is it because you came all the way from Mexico?
Because in Mexico we think that water is cold, but definitely water is not cold. Here, water is cold. I remember.
What do you mean water?
The first time I went into a lake, and then they told me, "Hey, Cesar, the water is cold," and I said, yeah.
What is water? I don't understand.
Water, the water.
The water. Sorry.
So we're like, okay, so I'm just gonna go into the water.
Yeah.
Because the measure I had about cold was completely different.
Was there off?
So when I went in, I was like, so then I knew what was really cold.
Really? But today I'm gonna jump all the way like so many years now. Here, 15 years? For you? 16.
16. Yeah.
16 years, I go. 16 years later, you're plunging in the icy water in Canada.
I do cold dips now in Okotoks.
So your level, your tolerance, I guess, for cold increased so much.
And I always, I've learned so much from this land and the people in this land. The Canadians, I always tell them that they are all warriors because it's not easy
because of the weather
to be in this land, and you need to in order to survive, you need to work on your endurance, you need to work on your determination and your perseverance. So I always tell everybody, for me, all of you are already warriors.
Warriors, that's a good
because
word.
We all know what is.
Yeah, we know. So once you walked the path. I just want to go into your life in Canada now. So you were like, most of us are still on this job routine, daily routine, like structured jobs and stuff. So So what did that world feel felt for you like before? And did you know it's not going to be lasting for you for too long?
No, not at all. Well, actually, what it really changed my life, was when I, out of nowhere, in April 2015, the beginning of April, I started to feel out of place. Naturally feeling out of place, and there was something in me, and I could even feel some dances, like if I had a sombrero. I remember feeling this energy so heavy, and I wasn't comfortable. And I talked to my ex-wife, and I said, I need some time. And then I decided to go for a month to revisit myself and see.
Where did you go?
I went to Jose's house, my friend.
Oh,
Jose.
you kind of, I mean, like you had to take time out.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and live, just kind of be by yourself.
Exactly.
I see.
Yeah. Well, not living by myself. I just wanted to see what was going on, and see if I wanted to live that life. And then I realized that that I didn't want to continue living that life, and it was so devastating for me, because the value of family. For me, I'm coming from Italian, Argentinian, Mexican family or background, so family is very strong. So me stepping away of that, and by the way, my ex-wife is a beautiful woman, beautiful mother. If I would need to do it again, I would redo the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, my two beautiful kids, they are incredible, and they are a gift. And then moving away from that for me it wasn't easy. It was I was crying, and I was very sad and lonely for quite some time, probably a year.
So it wasn't about your relationship with your ex, right? That it was more about your spiritual, like you felt something.
I didn't know. I think it was a mix of many things.
Mix of many things.
But definitely was a little bit of more than relationship. It was just it was hard to understand. People were asking me, Cesar, why are you doing this? And I just didn't know. I didn't even know.
So you're saying that one day you just kind of felt that
like I was
something
out of place.
That something is going on, and you want to figure that out. Yeah.
And even I didn't know that I wanted to figure it out.
Yeah, I didn't know. Okay.
I was. What I know is that I was in a very deep sadness. I was crying, and not knowing what was going on with me.
Yeah, but your mother also was a significant figure for you. When did she pass away? Was it because of her?
Mom, I miss my mom, Mamita. My mom passed away in 2022.
Oh, 2022. So later. Okay, 7 years later.
7 years.
What did she say that time when you were going through this transformations in your life?
Well, not only my mom, everybody was surprised. Me and myself, I was surprised. I didn't know what was happening, as I just mentioned. But then I remember I was at my friend's house, and I was looking at the moon one night, probably 10 days after I moved out, or I was with my friend and my friends. And then I was just concentrating in the moon, and then I remember feeling some energy, some singing, and I felt like if I was getting high somehow. And I was just not even having tea or anything. I was it's like if my body I was stimulating my body to feel in this different state. Now I call it a trance state, or I don't know, some a meditative state. And naturally I was just getting into this state, and for me it was completely new. I just didn't know what was happening for many years. Days. I didn't know what was going on.
So when did
I still don't know though.
Because I was gonna say
10 years later.
When was that turning point? Like when did you realize, okay, that's what I was looking for? No,
I started to feel connection with I was seeing things, and I was listening to things, and and then having vibrations, and then I learned that those vibrations are, kind of your kundalini moving, and or your chakras vibrating, and there was one that it was vibrating so much, I remember feeling itchy here all the time.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess that it was just being stimulated without me knowing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, and when I explain it, I still just I experienced it. I always say that to everybody. I know now that I don't know, but what I know, I walked it.
Yeah, good. So you experienced the journey, that moment. So then that's when your spiritual journey started, right?
Yeah.
And then I maybe tell me just a little bit. So things started opening up to you, or you went. How did you learn? Like, what did you do to get yourself into that other level?
Yeah, so then I started to be very curious about meditation. So I was just connecting with people, and they were telling me, there's going to be something here, something there.
Yeah.
And then there was something called Diksha. And Diksha is kind of a blessing, and you do it with your hands. And I went to with this group in Mexico. And then they told me that there is something that they do that is called the sacred chambers. So I did the sacred chambers in Mexico, and then when I came to Canada, to Calgary, I found the group and then surprisingly they were having sacred chambers pretty soon.
Oh.
So I met someone who became one of my closest friends, or my sister.
Yeah.
Her name is Stanis Fishman, and then she. I met her there, and then there was going to be this huge event in Toronto. So I was in Toronto, and Tanis was there. So we spent the 3 days together, and then she said something to me that completely changed my life, because she said, "Hey, Cesar, I think you need to go to Mexico. There's going to be a pilgrimage with the Huicholes." And I said, "The Huicholes? Do you know the Huicholes?" And I said, "Yeah, well, there's this indigenous tribe in Mexico, but I just knew about them because I heard about them. I didn't know nothing about them."
Like you didn't experience it when you were living in Mexico, right?
Yeah, I just knew about them, but that's it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then she said, "Hey, I have a friend in England and there's a group in England that they're going to go to Mexico for 25 days." Yeah. And they're going to be with the Huicholes. Now I know that the Huicholes are us mestizos, or the mixed breed. We call them Huicholes, but they call themselves Huirráticas. And I ended up going with them very magically. I had this vision, and then I knew I needed to go to Mexico, and for me that was a big change, because it was a beautiful reconnection. I reconnected with nature. When I reconnected with the elements, I reconnected with myself. In a way that I was able to see myself in the good, in the bad, and the steps that I was taking. Before I was just flowing life, living life without awareness, let's say, and then that brought a lot of awareness. But at the same time, vibrating with nature for me was very strong. They are this tribe, they've been doing their pilgrimage every year for more than 11,000 years.
Wow.
So for me, being with them was huge. I have done two pilgrimage with them.
How many days?
2016 and in 2022. The first one was 25 days, and the second was 15 days in 2022.
It's quite a
Yeah, we stay in the mountains, in the desert, in the jungle.
You camped out, yeah?
Well, more than camping, they do ceremonies. So actually, these are these guys. This is Kayomari, the sacred, the great spirit for them.
Yeah.
This is the corn, Tatevari, the fire. So what I've learned with them is that your life by itself is sacred.
Yeah.
And everything that happens around it is it's part of the magic that life has, right? So they taught me a lot, even though when I was with the medicine man, I remember his name was Don Santos. they're called maracames. So I was with the maracame. A short man was right next to me with a beautiful, I remember a beautiful sombrero, beautiful hat. And then I looked at him and I said, hey, Don Santos, ¿usted me va a enseñar? You're going to teach me? He didn't even look at me and he said, no. And I expected different, right? And then he said, if you open your eyes, you'll see. So he gave me actually the basis for my teaching, for my learning. Because with the First Nations here and with different tribes that I've been, or not different, so many, but few, you learn by paying attention, not by taking notes or getting a certificate. You're just being there in ceremony. Because doing that pilgrimage gave me the strength to learn more, being curious for learning more, and then I ended up learning about the medicine wheel, the drum journey, and then in 2019 I committed to dance. In the sun dance. So I became a sun dancer, and I danced for 4 years, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023.
You don't dance anymore?
I don't dance anymore. I go there to participate. But that really changed my life.
Okay.
That was a big change, because
that was that point
intense.
when you kind of were exploring more, yeah? And kind of
because I didn't know what I got into.
Yeah.
But
it seems like you're still exploring. You're still trying. Like you were sun dance. Now you do singing, drumming. So it seems like you're always evolving. You're always learning something and then going into different phases and stages of your journey, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's just a way to discover yourself, but I call it rediscovering yourself. So so those stages in your life is when you are connecting with you and knowing that there's so much out there. I always say that if you don't have any books and you go to the mountains and you live in the mountains for 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, 6 months, you're going to learn all the wisdom that you need, and because you will practice it. When you read a book is knowledge, but if you don't use that book, then it never is going to turn into you. You won't own it. When you practice your knowledge,
when you are right
turns
there
into wisdom.
in the process, you mean, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I see. So your roots come from Mexico, right?
That's right.
And I know that Mexico, you have lots of like different things you celebrate, and like would you say like some seeds were planted when you were early, like young?
I think so, because
in your life, I mean,
I was very distracted. Spirituality for me wasn't a thing, and never to have a drum was never in my mind at all. Like nothing.
But still, would you connect yourself to your roots or no?
Yeah.
Or you kind of on your own, you discovered yourself?
Unfortunately, I didn't.
No? Okay.
I needed to come to Canada.
Yes.
To meet Tanis. So she would say, hey, why don't you go to Mexico with these indigenous tribes, right?
Oh, yeah. But you were still sent back.
And then I went back to Mexico. But
Canada was that place, I guess, for your awakening, I guess, like that, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm so grateful that
you met those
the ancestors, the energy, the ancestors of this land, they have been very kind to me, because I've received so much gifts in their ways of lives and all the teachings that in reality is just something that you vibrate every single day. I remember one of my teachers in the Sundance, he said, Cesar, the Sundance is a way of life. It's not a celebration or a tradition that we do, and no, Sundance is every single day of your life from now on. And he was right. Very intense, though. Very intense.
I see. Since you mentioned about ancestors, I know your mother is a very special person for you, because you do mention about her during some of your ceremony, not ceremonies, how do you call them? That's those events where you represent yourself. And so, did she support you in your spiritual journey? Was she part of your, or no? What's the connection?
She told me once when I was going to go to my Sundance. And I told him, hey, I'm going to ceremony, Mama. So it is very...
She used to live in Canada as well?
No, she was in Mexico.
Oh, but you were in touch with her?
I was, every Sunday. We spoke every Sunday.
Yeah, okay.
And then she said, hey, my son, are you in some kind of cult?
Okay.
And I said, no, Mama, I'm just, I'm finding myself in the teachings. I think that they are so rich and they are helping me so much. More than evolve, is more to understand that the trees are part of you, the rocks, the stones, the animals, that they're all teachers. The brothers and sisters. We all have
this little higher connection, I guess, right?
Yeah. And I'm still every single day working on work in progress.
But so your mother didn't help you to shape in any sort of
Oh no, Mama.
Okay, sure.
No.
Your spiritual journey, I guess. I see.
No.
But I see. But
Now probably more. I can feel my mom.
What do you feel about that? Tell me. So you had this two, I guess, I don't know, maybe more, but what's known to me, you went through these two major griefs in your life, grieving and loss of your marriage and loss of your mother. It just sounds to me like you have a very special relationship with your mother. I don't know. Maybe did it involve after her passing, or it sounds like you were doing. So my question is like, how did it shape you? Like, how did the grief shape you in your spiritual journey as well? You know what I mean? Yeah?
Well, with my mom, I was close to my mom.
Yeah.
But I knew. Well, I didn't know.
No.
Then I knew. But there was some healing to do with my mom, and there was some cuts and wounds that I needed to go through healing. And I remember the big shift happened in a sweat lodge.
Oh.
I brought my oldest, Cesar Jr.
Okay.
And you know him. So I invited him to a sweat lodge because he was not having a good time. And he was probably 17, 18, somewhere there, 16, 17. And I remember one of the ladies in the sweat lodge started talking to my son. And then he said, the safest space to be is the womb of your mother. So the sweat lodge is a recreation of the womb of your mother. So it is a safe space. So she went on, but I remember just thinking about what she said. I had that beautiful healing right there in that sweat lodge. So that night, when I talked to my mom, as every Sunday at 9, I said for the first time after, 15 years or 20 or 10, 15, 20, I love you, Mama. Te amo, Mama.
Like in person, is that her?
On the phone. It was at 9 o'clock.
Oh,
so we used to call
it took you like 15 to 20 years to heal and to finally say to Mama.
Openly. So then after that day, which was, if I'm not mistaken, 2017, every single time I was talking to my mom, I was like, Mama, te amo, Mama, te amo, te amo, te amo, te amo. Te amo. It was such a relief. You know, her last days, I said te amo to her.
Yeah. Was it because she was very strict, Mama? What was there? Well, you don't want to share about it. It's okay.
Well, in Mexico, mamas are
strict mamas.
They are the belt and the chancla and the sandal.
You know, it's interesting. They even show that in. It just reminded me because my children used to watch a lot of movies, right? And you know that cat in the boots.
Yeah.
Cat in the boots.
Yeah.
What's the name of that movie? I think it's called Cat in the Boots.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So they have this picture there in Mexico, and this lady, Mexican lady, very strong. She has this orphanage for cats, and she's yelling at everybody. everybody.
Yeah, with the sandal, and everybody. So it was, it was pretty
Just
similar.
reminded me that.
Pretty similar.
I could imagine your mom being.
So my mom was here. So,
Okay.
so here's the chancla, here's
Oh,
the
I
sandal,
see.
and
So you
we were
had a
like,
lot of. Did you have some you will explain some wounds and traumas you had? Which you
yeah,
can
well,
let
there
go.
was, there
But
was,
it's amazing how you kind of in that moment. It's in Sweat Lodge. You said you experience that forgiveness, right? Total forgiveness, because it takes for people sometimes years, and sometimes they never can get to that point. You know, when they can.
because these
fully forgive their parents. No?
these ceremonies, they have been going on for thousands of years. So
I know, but it's not. Isn't it about you though? I mean, people go to ceremonies. I'm sure they go to sweat lodges 100 times a day. I mean, a year. But does it mean they are like that? To have this transformation moment when they completely and fully forgive their parents or ancestors? No?
What I was trying to say is that these ceremonies, the energy, they've been carrying for so many years, and when we do the ceremony, we continue reinforcing and making it the energy. So it's a very
you're part of that
energy.
Collective, I guess.
So this huge energy gives healing and gives understanding, gives relief, gives so much more that I don't know. But
interesting.
But it's very the sacredness. We sometimes forget about sacredness, or even we don't know what is sacred. We think that sacredness it is going to church or the church itself. Or the Vatican for the Catholics, or a certain place, the Taj Mahal, or certain places in Israel or
India,
and in India, and that's the only thing we think that are sacred. But ceremonies are sacred. The drum is sacred. Your own life is sacred.
What about prayer when the Christians get
prayer?
Together?
I learned from a teacher, an elder, a Blackfoot elder. He's always saying that prayer was the first medicine.
Yes.
And the second medicine was the drum.
The sound. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
That's the drum.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting. So, just interesting how. So you learn so much that no book, no teacher can teach you, right? Just by being walking, in the process, walking
the red road.
Yes, walking the road. Yeah. So now you've been showing your drum, and you're a singer now, a drummer, and a drum player. I mean, and a teacher. Do you consider yourself healer or no? You consider yourself teacher, right?
Yeah, no. I think I work with energy, but talking about a singer, or a drummer. I went to Grand Prairie, and there was this beautiful kind of a seminar workshop, and it was called Sacred Fire Teachings. And there were so many people there, and there was this beautiful woman, a Cree woman. Her name is Teresa, and then she said, "Hey, Cesar, are you a singer?" And I said, "Well, I kind of sing," and then I explained that I have a couple of songs. I said, "So you're a singer?" But for me, coming from her, that she sings like, hey,
Yeah, I know.
I was like, I'm not a singer. And then I even needed to sing, and then, the gratitude of everybody, because at the end of the day, by singing is how we change the world, or change your world. And honoring the song, honoring when someone or when it comes to from Creator, Great Spirit, the song, you use the song as medicine. You ask permission for it, and it's a huge honor to have.
So you have that now connection to the sound and to the rhythm.
A little more.
Would you say that Cree lady from the Cree Nation? Was she your teacher for that or no?
One of my teachers, beautiful. She's,
I know you've got so many teachers, but
beautiful.
Are you sharing that moment that you weren't a singer, but she kind of helped you to break through, kind of?
Oh yeah, because she made me sing like in front of them.
When you weren't prepared.
All of them, they were all a few of them were singers, and I was like, I don't want to sing, but then I kind of broke through.
Yeah. And now it became like a spiritual expression for you, right?
Yes.
It's your connection, because we if you take any religion, any faith, they also have the worship time, the prayer time, right? The connection time. So it's just, I think it's beautiful that you also like connect with nature and spirits, I guess.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So did you make yourself your drum?
Yeah.
Or it was gifted?
It was a gift from another teacher.
Good.
Her name is Marcia, and she had this workshop, and she said, "Hey, Cesar, come."
Yeah.
And you just pick the.
Yeah, I heard that drum has to be either gifted to you or you have to make your own.
Well,
the
first one, it has to be a gift, or you,
really?
and then you gift yours.
Yeah.
The first.
Would you like to play a little bit for us?
I will. Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely. Yeah, I actually this drum is a moose hide.
Yeah. Oh.
And I remember when I grabbed the hide. Actually, somebody else picked this hide.
Didn't you say you were gifted? You made it?
I made it. Yeah, I made.
Oh, the first one was gifted. Okay.
It was gifted the workshop in the workshop.
Oh, I see. Now
I said, "This is for you," and then I made it. It took me an hour. It took me an hour to stretch. This is moose too, and it's very hard to stretch moose hide. It's easier deer hide. But I used this one.
This is moose, and this is what?
This is moose. The whole thing is moose.
Oh, the moose. Okay, sure.
So it has a scar. So when I picked the hide, because of the scar, I wanted, because I relate to the heart I have, to the scar I have in my heart. So then I was like, this is the perfect drum.
Yeah.
And then somebody grabbed this hide, and they were like, oh man, this is what I wanted.
And then they gave it to you.
And then this woman brought it back, and she said, I don't like it. So then as soon as
it's meant to be for you.
It's meant to be for
you.
let's
play a little bit for us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So this is a song that is I sang this song in a ceremony in Mexico. It is in Spanish, and it's about the drum, and the words are, or the lyrics are, tamborcito, tamborcito. It means caring and loving song. Ayúdame a cantar, help me to sing, para que se oiga la voz, so my voice can be heard. Llegue a donde tenga que llegar, and reach wherever it needs to be reached.
Nice.
To the heart of my brother, to the heart of my sister, to the heart of the fire, and then we change to the heart of the water, to the heart of the earth. To the wind, and then earth at the end.
Is it going to be Spanish?
It's going to be in Spanish, so here we go. Tamborcito, tamborcito, ayúdame a cantar. Tamborcito, ayúdame a cantar, para que se oiga la voz, para que se oiga la voz, para que se oiga la voz, y llegue a donde tenga que llegar, al corazón de mi hermano, al corazón de mi hermana, al corazón de este fuego, al corazón, al corazón. Tamborcito, tamborcito, ayúdame a cantar. Tamborcito, tamborcito, ayúdame a cantar, para que se oiga la voz, para que se oiga la voz, para que se oiga la voz y llegue a donde tenga que llegar, al corazón de mi hermano, al corazón de mi hermana, al corazón de este viento, al corazón, al corazón. Tamborcito, tamborcito, ayúdame a cantar. Tamborcito, tamborcito, ayúdame a cantar, para que se oiga la voz, para que se oiga la voz, para que que se oiga la voz y llegue a donde tenga que llegar. Al corazón de mi hermano, al corazón de mi hermana, al corazón de esta agua, al corazón, al corazón. Tamborcito, tamborcito, ayúdame a cantar. Tamborcito, tamborcito, ayúdame a cantar. Para que se oiga la voz, para que se oiga la voz, para que se oiga la voz y llegue a donde tenga que llegar. Al corazón de mi hermano, al corazón de mi hermana, al corazón de esta tierra, al corazón, 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 al corazón.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Did I interrupt? Sorry.
No. Finish, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So, what does it mean to have a calling today for you?
A calling.
Yeah.
It's been quite a challenging journey, and I remember I used to be very excited about jumping into a meditation, going here, going there. Mm-hmm. Now the Sundance is coming, and I was just ready, getting ready, and then it gets, it's hard, it's challenging, and what I mean with challenging is that when it comes to energy and it comes to your evolution, it comes to, there's so many things to learn. And nothing to learn. It gets so complicated and simple.
Yeah.
There's so many things to see and nothing to see. And the teachings could be strong. So it could bring a little pain.
Yeah.
It could hurt.
Like
so and for me it has been difficult with my body. My body it has and it hasn't been easy for my body. So I've been trying to balance. Plus, I'm coming. Of course, I'm vibrating so much in gratitude, and I know that this was because of my Sundance. But I had a heart attack in June 21st. It's going to be a year. And I committed in 2019 to dance. I danced 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and then I had my heart attack in 2024. The way I see it is that I earned my past to continue living because I couldn't check out in 2024. And because I danced and I did the work, it's like, oh, here. The ancestors granted me a little bit of more life, a creator. Well, it's the commitment that you create, that you made to yourself. Like the commitment of trying your best to live in honesty, in integrity, work with compassion, try to vibrate in It doesn't mean that I do it every day and I don't get angry.
But you try to feel in yourself this gratitude, you said.
The visions, there are some visions that come and kind of showing me the way. And
because today you're planning your trip to Mexico again for a month or something, or less than a month. Some weeks. Yeah. So what is that trip about? Maybe.
Well, I think it's more for reflection, to reset, to reconnect. But my sister is there. I want to see my sister. I want to be with my family. Even though my kids are staying here, my boys are staying here. I want to go to Mexico. But I have a strong connection with Lady of Guadalupe. Lady of Guadalupe is in December 12th. We have the day for Virgin of Guadalupe, and my mom was very close to her, and for me, they have a strong connection with Lady of Guadalupe. I want to go to the. They have this huge cathedral,
Oh, wow.
and just to have an idea of how is a pilgrimage in December 12th, 5 million people go there in a pilgrimage.
Really?
So there's a huge plaza full of people. So the power of prayer, it is very strong there. I want to go and pray there, and much more. But that's what is bringing me back to Mexico.
Nice,
Not back, just bringing Mexico to stay there for a bit and then come back.
Nice. Okay. So you mentioned you have your 2 grown sons.
Yes.
Are they supportive of your spiritual journey? How do they, like, you've chosen the spiritual path? What do they think? What is their view about that? Also, has your journey kind of impacted how you show up as a father, or it did not? I mean,
Yeah. So the first is when I was started to shift. The youngest said, "Dad, I thought that you were becoming a hippie," and the oldest said, "I thought that you were becoming a priest."
Okay.
Because I was caring with my words. I was not making fun of others.
Yeah.
And before I made fun of everybody, and so they were like, "What's going on with my dad?" It shifted completely. So it's been quite a shock for them. And they have tried their best, but I know it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy, to have the way I dressed and what I do, and the drums, me singing. They supported me in the Sundance. They supported me 2 years in Sundance, and there was a great support. For me, it was very powerful to have my boys there, but it's not very, very strong. I mean, they do their best. Yeah. I think that's
so. Like you being as a father, that part didn't change. Yeah, you've been always a good father to them.
I have been not. When we just moved from Mexico, they were playing soccer, so I was coaching soccer.
Oh, nice.
But then they didn't like soccer. The next year they said, "Dad, no more soccer for us. We want to do football." So I didn't know nothing about football, so I just jumped into coaching too. I was assistant coach.
Okay.
And then I remember I was in the sidelines, and there was this big guy he was an ex Stampeder player.
Okay.
So he said, "Hey, Cesar, we need to call the safety blitz." And I was like, "We need to call who?" And Rodrigo, my son, was right there and said, "Hey, Rodrigo, he's telling me something about safety blitz." "Oh yeah, Dad, when we go and attack the quarterback." "Oh yeah, okay, number 3." And then I knew. That's how I learned. I didn't know nothing about football. So then when I was just getting the grip, I became also a ref. So I was
Good for you.
I was refereeing and an assistant coach, and then they say, "No more football. Now it's basketball."
Okay. Wow. So you were a great dad.
So then I jumped, and then
yeah.
I started helping in the sidelines as an assistant coach of
Wow,
basketball.
that's for you.
Yeah,
That's great.
Then they grew up, and that's it. No more.
Yeah, no, you still have quite a close connection with your children.
Super. I cuddle with them. I love them.
You go out with them.
Yes. If they tell me right now, come, I leave everything. I go.
Yeah.
I love them so much. It's a gift.
So they are young men now. They can always rely on you. They can always come to
23 and 24, and the one that is 24. The oldest is turning 25 on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Friday,
okay. Happy birthday.
May 9, yeah.
Yeah. So, how does your spiritual life look like just on an ordinary, let's say, Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, like every day, like an everyday.
Yeah, just how does it look like?
So, what I learn is to vibrate in gratitude, vibrating gratitude that you're alive, that you can use your hands, that
You can see. Yeah.
you can breathe. This is your connection. They say that when you inhale and you exhale, to make a noise. That noise is called, or they say that is Yahweh, Yahweh, and it's like if you're calling God. And the way I see it is that your breath is the gift. Is the only reason we are here, that we can breathe. So it's our connection. So connecting in awareness of your breath, and you're breathing, and you're in the gift. You're alive. So I try as much as I can to vibrate in gratitude, and then if I don't have as much in hand because I'm somewhere, I try to light an incense. If there is no incense, I have Florida water or salt and water, kind of to clear myself and give prayers.
Yeah.
Praying for my boys, praying, for a good day and for life, for health, and I do the same for me and others, and that's what I do. Yeah.
So what's been like very humbling for you these days? What do you find like really, that's something that really, something you're still learning right now, I guess? I know you said you're always learning, but...
Yeah, I will never stop learning.
Let's say right now, this moment of your life, like this 2025, May 5th, like what are you still learning today?
Yeah, well, for me right now, the opportunity to have such incredible, beautiful people around me, you, so many friends, and I learned the teachers I've had, in British Columbia, in the Grand Prairie, here in Calgary, beautiful people. From the teachings from the nations are super strong, and it's a reminder almost every day. For me, it's the buffalo, the eagle, all the animals, they're very powerful, and the opportunity that I had to go to Mexico and be with other tribes there. I have already in mind something, so hopefully I can make it.
No, I'm sure. We wish you all the best for that trip. It's lovely. So if somebody's listening right now quietly for you, and feeling called, they're feeling quietly called to this something deeper, what would you say to them? If they're like like when you were 2015, right? They're like feeling something inside of them, but they don't know what it is and what to do about them. What would you say to them?
The thing is that there are two ways for the teachings. One is when it's involving pain, and the other one that is just you growing. And most of us, we choose the pain to learn and to grow. And they call it the dark night of the soul, and when you're really deep in your pain and not understanding life, and things doesn't make sense, and I know that there's people saying, there's always going to be light out of the tunnel, right? Like
at the end of the tunnel.
At the end of the tunnel, there's going to be there's light on the other side. But my suggestion is just to connect with your thoughts as if you were the teacher. Like if you are the one that is teaching in the school, and you are the one that is talking to yourself, and you are like, oh, so you are my teacher, because we are always expecting in others. We're expecting the healer to come and heal us. When in reality, we are our own healers. We're expecting to see other prophets, people, when we are our own prophets. We are our own teachers. We are our own healers. A friend of mine always says, we are our own masters. So we have this huge, beautiful opportunity to learn about ourselves, and there's so much to discover from ourselves. When we stop looking out and we start looking a little bit inside,
inwards.
it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're telling these people just kind of self-reflect more and go inwards?
Yeah, well, it's very simple. Sometimes you just, when you have a time to sit and enjoy the view in the ocean, and if you have 10 minutes sitting there, the mountains, doing a meditation, connecting with your breath, for 5 minutes, it gives you that peace to just not thinking anything, and then reflections, integration comes. Usually,
Yeah. Would you say like make that step of faith? I guess. Would you say to them and go for it, or no? Would you encourage them?
Yeah. I would say that yes, but it comes in perfect times.
Yeah. We cannot control that, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
it's gonna come when you are.
When you're ready.
When you are, or close to ready, because we're never ready.
Oh yeah, we're never.
Or we are, we're not.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I hope they got their message.
Yes,
because I'm sure everybody gets their own messages. So what's next for you, Cesar? Like, what is there any vision you're like holding maybe for the future? Maybe a new way to serve or to teach, or a new way or to heal. I don't know. Do you have anything?
I right now, I remember I used to say this the way I learned at the beginning was that people were telling me about the mountains, how beautiful the mountains were, and that in the mountains God was in the mountains. And if you were telling them, hey, can I go to the mountains and see if I can meet God, they were telling, no, read this book, or me, I'm telling you, don't go to the mountains. I'm telling you, so God is in the mountains.
Just trust me, yeah.
But yeah, trust me, right? And I decided to go to the mountains, and I realized that God is there, and
it's His creation. Yeah,
it is creation itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I'm ready to go to the mountains again.
Oh. Okay.
I wanna go to the mountains again.
What do you mean, like go on, like?
I wanna go on. I wanna walk again, even though I'm a little tired.
I know.
I have
you can start slow though. They're very short hikes. There are also hikes that you want to be hiking, right?
No. I mean,
oh,
I'm in my spiritual journey.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to go to a southern state in Mexico. Is called Oaxaca. There are a couple of tribes there, indigenous tribes that I'm interested to see.
So what's your vision for your future? For the next 5 years, let's say.
For the next 5 years, I wish to be healthy, strong, and that my boys are healthy and strong. That I have grandchildren.
Yeah.
And I'm continue living life. Life is incredible. Life is beautiful.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I think you almost said it, but that was my last closing moment for us. That if you had your mother, your sons, and your younger self sitting in a circle right now with us, what you say to them?
That I'm not in a cult.
No.
I would say that to my mom. Mom, I'm not in a cult. No, what I would say to my mom would be that I regret that I didn't start saying te amo before. I would definitely would love to say te amo 1,000 more times, and I couldn't do it. And to my boys, to say I'm sorry, because I probably hurt them without intention, and that hurts me. That I just didn't know.
Yeah. What about younger self?
My younger self. Yeah, be brave.
Did you ever imagine that you would be here today? Like, I mean, in your life? I mean,
no. My life has changed so much. 10 years. I was in Jose's house 10 years ago. in May 2015 is when everything started, and now in May 2025 I'm with them, and it is a big difference, the deeper connection. I love that, right? Because this connection is with Creator, with Great Spirit, with God. My connection with Joshua, with my brother, prophet, guide. Jesus, is very close. I honor him so much, and I try to follow his steps.
Yeah, you should explain it's a person, and not Jesus Christ.
No, yes, Jesus Christ.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Sorry.
No, I call Joshua, Jesus and Mary Magdalene. They
I see.
taught me so much.
I thought you were talking about real people.
No, they taught me so much.
Because you have a friend who is Jesus. So.
Yeah, exactly, Jesus.
I thought you were talking about
Jesus too. But that beautiful connection, I think is.
So you go to church on Sundays, you said, right?
I love it. I love how they sing.
Yeah, which church do you go to? We don't have to tell you.
I go with my son, with Rodrigo. He goes to Mackenzie Town Church, MTC. And then they sing, and I love it.
I love the worship time and stuff. Yeah, good.
Sometimes I stay, some others I leave right after they sing.
Yeah. I see.
Because I stay for the singing. I love it. I enjoy it so much, and not so much staying the whole.
For the whole sermon. Okay.
Yeah,
so thank you so much for being a guest on my podcast. I really appreciate you so much. Our friendship is beautiful. I appreciate you. It's been that. You have such a beautiful story, and your journey is very unique.
Thank you.
I thought it's going to be interesting for everybody else to hear, because I always admire you in your journey.
Thank you.
And the way you just kind of live your life in peace with yourself. That's what it seems to me.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and in connection with yourself. That's what we all need, I think.
What I would say is that I admire what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
I admire your courage and your book, and how your book have changed you, and all these new projects that you're having, and how active you are. And
thank you.
And I wish you luck. I send you blessings. And
thank you so much.
And I think that this is a beautiful way, bringing people to touch regular, simple life, right? People lives, because. We don't need to be, Tom Cruise to change people's life, right? I think that the ordinary people is who we relate to.
We have powerful stories ourselves.
Exactly.
And we can empower each other.
Exactly.
We need that community. We are the community.
Exactly.
And that's what I support. And thank you so much for your kind words and blessings and wishes. Honestly, for me, it's also a journey, because I've been giving myself permission to be creative, to use my creativity. Cool. Because at the root, I am a creative person, but I've been deprived of that for many years. And even to the point that I became an accountant when I wanted to become a journalist and writer. So I'm trying to discovering my life. I am like yourself. Just you went this way, and I'm going this more creative.
Which is beautiful,
Thank you so much.
Wish you luck, and everything is gonna.
I guess my dream of wanting to become a journalist is kind of coming true now.
Yeah.
In some ways.
This is.
I don't get paid for this, but.
Well, we can grow. You can grow.
Yes,
so much.
we are growing for sure. I'm growing. I'm learning a lot. Yeah. I'm still not comfortable in front of the camera too, because I will do all the lighting.
Me neither. But you have a beautiful setup. I love it. Yeah,
it's very simple.
You're doing great. I don't know if I could do this same thing, but it's beautiful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.